like Zydeco Christmas music to introduce you to a book called The Devil's Song. Lauren Stahl is on the phone with us. She is the author of The Devil's Song. I found it on Amazon. If you're looking at the streaming video, that's the cover that I just grabbed off of the Amazon listing. And let's see, Lauren is an assistant district attorney who prosecuted felonies with a focus on special victims unit crimes. Oh my gosh, I wonder if any of that plays a role in the story. Let's find out. Lauren Stahl. Good morning, Lauren. It's an honor to have you on our show.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
I was trying to find a good song to introduce the Devil's Song, but I ended up with that Zydeco thing. So how are you? Robin said you were stuck in the snow.
I was, yes. It was insane here the week before Thanksgiving.
Were you in a car?
I was. I ended up making it 6 miles in 3.5 hours to end up back where I came from. I couldn't make it home. And so, yeah,
wow.
It was really crazy.
Did you have to walk away from your car?
No, but when I tell you, I've never seen anything like this. Like, I grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania, right? So I'm used to snow. I'm used to blizzards, all that good stuff. It wasn't even that bad, but people, in the sense that it wasn't the worst snowstorm I've ever seen, but people were abandoning their cars. And, I mean, cars were just sideways in the middle of the road.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
All before Thanksgiving.
Do you know what was crazy? We saw in the news, because down here in Florida, we just kind of sip on our drinks and look at the bikinis. But we saw in the news, and I'm from New York, so I knew the area, and the Bronx was covered with snow, and Midtown was not. I mean, it must have had a line right not far from you.
Yeah, it was so ridiculous. But so I ended up in where I work. I work about, 15 miles from where I live. So I ended up in the general area of where I work and didn't have my cell phone charger, which now I carry with me everywhere. And I was really ill prepared. So I'm so grateful to you guys for rescheduling me and having me on today.
Oh my gosh, we're just glad you're okay. So I want to tell you, you are getting some really nice reviews from your books. So I just want to tell you that. I mean, I'm sure you've read them all. They're on the Amazon page. Is this a first for you? I mean, as your job as a district attorney, I'm guessing that's a pretty time-consuming occupation.
Yeah, so it's definitely a first, and I will tell you, I don't read the reviews because they freak me out a little bit. So I avoid all the reviews, but my husband fills me in here and there as to how it's going, a very general overview. But yes, so it's my first novel that's been out, first time doing this, but I have to tell you, I'm no longer in the DA's office. Still working for the government, but not in that capacity, and so things are not as crazy from a professional standpoint as they once were.
Well, we don't want to get you stuck in a virtual snowstorm by talking about snowstorms. So let's talk about the storyline. Give us a movie trailer version of the story.
Sure. So in The Devil's Song, the main character, her name is Kate Magda. She's assigned as the lead prosecutor on a case that's involving a string of murders that's been dubbed Reds because the women that have been murdered have red hair. It's the only connection that can be found in the book in the early scenes. And basically, as the main character, Kate, delves into the case, she believes that she shares this personal link with the killer. And while Mission County is busy hunting this killer, Kate becomes convinced that the killer is hunting her. And she just becomes obsessed with the case.
You know, I read this. I didn't realize this was the one I read. Oh my God. As you're telling me the story, I did. And I forgot that I read it. When were you scheduled to be on? How long ago was that? It wasn't that long ago that storm happened.
The 16th.
No, just
the 16th
a week and a half
November.
ago.
We get so many books. Yeah, because I remember thinking about Donna from the TV show Suits. I kept thinking, oh no,
she's gonna get it.
I don't know if you know this TV show.
I do.
Oh my gosh, this is a really good book.
Thank you.
But I know you don't want to listen to reviews, but it's a really good book.
Thank you.
How exciting! I mean, did any of the your work as a district attorney. Did any of that kind of help you? Because one of the things about it is everything rings true. And so it sounds like you've got a way of knowing what would actually be true.
Yeah, so of course, right, as a writer, you write what you know, and I definitely know my way around the courtroom. I've been to an autopsy. I've had to do all those things in my career thus far, whether it was prosecuting or, whatever else. But so, yes, that definitely kind of allows me to not have to research that much when I'm writing this book, and hopefully allow the reader to sit back and feel like they're in really good hands.
Yes.
But the character Kate also has to prove herself because she's the a daughter of a judge, and people think that she's got it made.
Yeah, so Kate is a bit complicated, and I think where some characters or, some individuals in real life, of course, might love the fact that they come from a political family and kind of have a foot in the door, she's interesting. She does everything she can to prove otherwise and show that, she's not just riding on her family's coattails.
And that's pretty amazing, too, because she's standing up for herself, and she not only has her values from her growing up, but she makes her own values for present day.
Yeah, Kate was really fun to write because she was complicated and a bit tormented from her past, and she had a lot of stuff going on. So she was one of my favorite characters, thankfully, because she's the main character to write throughout the manuscript in the book.
So without revealing anything, how do you so skillfully set us up for a twist that we don't see coming? Yeah. How do you test that? How do you know that we won't see it coming?
I wasn't sure if you guys would see it coming. And I have to say, people would call me when the book first came out, and they'd be like, oh, is it this person? Is this the killer?
Right.
And I would say to them, oh, that was a great idea. I wish I would have thought of that. But I don't outline. So I knew where I wanted the book to end, and I had a beginning in mind. And so I just started writing, and I kind of allowed the characters to take me on their journey and get themselves out of situations that were a bit insane. And so I just hoped that everyone would, either figure it out and be happy with who they figured out the killer to be, or not figure it out and be like, oh, I should have seen that coming, or, something like that.
That's exactly what I feel. I'm horrible to watch a movie with. Because I'll always say to Robin, "This is what I think is going to happen," and it's sometimes I'm pretty good at it. But you've written a story here that I didn't see it coming.
You also have another interesting character called Tess.
Yes,
and she's pretty amazing herself.
She was more difficult to write, and I don't know why that was. But yes, she kind of, beats to her own tune, and she's everything Kate isn't, but yet they're so much alike. I know you guys read it, so I don't know if you agree with me on that, but I felt like they were so polar opposites, but yet when it came down to it, they battle the same demons, and they kind of are dealing with all of the tragedy of the past, and now this, killer presently, and they're kind of dealing with the same thing, but just in such different ways.
Yeah, let's see. The standard question, I guess, for interviewers is, are any of these characters you? And I'm hoping not.
I often joke that Kate and I definitely have the same taste in music. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but then, I don't typically wear short skirts in the, to trials to get on someone's good side. So, we're very, very different. Very different.
Yeah, I don't do that either, by the way.
But Kate likes to do things herself. She doesn't like to depend on a team because she wants to be able to know firsthand what's going on.
Yes. And I think in this book, sometimes to her detriment, right? I mean, maybe she should have clued someone in, but...
Yeah, but it's pretty amazing.
All right,
well done.
On Cyber Monday, you don't even have to go online to order it because I have it here for one of you. This is actually the one that I read. It's the advanced reading copy, not for sale, so it's kind of a collector's item. Call me right now, and I'll pick one caller at random, and you can have it. The rest of us have to go buy it. I found it on Amazon. It's called The Devil's Song. It's a novel by Lauren Stahl, Stahl. In addition to Amazon, do you want to give us a different website?
Sure, you can even go to my website, and there's a bunch of links there that you can click to get to the book. It's laurenstahlauthor.com. And then any major retailer, Barnes & Noble, all the usual suspects will have the book.
I love that.
Congratulations on such a well-written book, Lauren. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us. And stay out of the snow a little bit.
Yes, thank you, guys.
All right, we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Robin, last year, the WOCA family of listeners came through big time with Christmas gifts for the Kids Helping Kids children.
I know. The studio was filled with toys. We could hardly walk to our microphones.
And this year, Kids Helping Kids is asking us to help again.
Well, it is a great idea. The children each take turns browsing through the gifts. They pick out the gifts they want to give to another child. The adults then wrap those gifts and deliver them.
Each child who gives a gift also gets a gift.
That is why it is called Kids Helping Kids. The children in the program are referred to the program from churches and schools who know the circumstances of their families.
You made us proud before.
Our listeners always make us proud.
And I know you'll make us proud again.
Just bring a new or gently used